Hello, guys. Welcome back. So, I had a really strange dream this morning. It's going to be really small, but sometimes I record these and they're partially for me, I think. Anyhow, I was driving in my dream, and I can't drive in real life. I don't have the depth perception, I don't have the money for a vehicle, blah, blah, blah. And I'm driving a truck, I think, and I'm driving on all these back roads, and I drive for many miles. I know that. It's like from my house to some shopping center, and it was miles and miles and miles, and I drove perfectly and I was so excited, and I think I had perfect eyesight in the dream. I go into the store and I'm shopping, and it's it's good because I have enough money to shop, and I normally don't have enough money to just go, yeah, I'm going to the store, I'm just going to buy some random stuff. So I bought this stuff, and I'm coming back out, and I'm walking down the I guess you would call it an arcade as you're going down the street area in a strip mall. And one second, please, guys. I'm so sorry. Sorry about that. And as I'm walking down, I'm walking past these stores. There's a woman, and she looks like, I'm going to guess it was Freya. And as I'm walking past her, this huge gray truck comes towards me, and it's got all the decks of lights and everything on it, and I think American flags, looking super obnoxious. It's coming towards me, and I don't know if it's because we were watching videos yesterday. I put out my hands, which don't do this, but I put out my hands to like try to stop it because I'm like, somehow I'm going to be able to stop a big, huge truck. I mean, this is bigger than a real life truck. It's coming towards me like it's going to plow me down, but somehow I stop it. It wasn't even moving real fast, but it was moving towards me in a way like, I'm going to hit you. And this woman starts wailing something about this truck, and I can't remember what it was. Or wailing something about America, because as I turned around, there's a bunch of old-timey TVs in there, like from my childhood, like from the 80s, and it's just static, and she's wailing something about America. And I said, what God should really do is get rid of that truck. So I keep walking on. I know, my dreams. And I'm walking to my truck, and I start to have kind of like a panic attack because I'm like, I can't do this. And then I'm telling myself, you drove for miles to get here. And I'm trying to psych myself up to get back in the truck and dream, because when you haven't done something your whole life, or you just did it for a very limited period, I drove for like maybe 6 months. Um, you have to psych yourself up, and I'm telling myself in this dream, well, if you can't drive, if you get in that truck and you can't drive the way you drove to get here, just call mom and dad. My parents aren't here anymore, so I don't know if I was dreaming about being in the other world or what I was dreaming about. But as I got up, it felt like Asmodeus. Dream may have been, I don't know, because I looked up dream interpretation, and it says it can be a major life change, or it can be, you can be like changing where you live, or it can be something else. So I don't know. And it was just, I have no idea. And when I got up, it felt like Asmodeus was willing, because Asmodeus doesn't understand when you tell Asmodeus no. And I said, you move way too fast. You're way too pushy and aggressive, even compared to Odin. I said, you make a bunch of promises you're never going to keep, and you just can't help yourself. I don't think he lies. I think he's bought into his own brand, the Asmodeus brand, Mr. Make you whatever, make you rich, take you on world travel. I said, you're not going to be able to produce those things. Will you please stop? And Asmodeus is just looking at me like he's going crazy and goes, well, then what am I supposed to do? And I said, you need to find yourself a home where someone's going to love you and take care of you. And this goes for any god if I feel little big god ears pricked up. Where they're going to be loved and cared for, whether they can produce anything or not. But where they're going to understand that, yes, humans want a roof over their head and food in their belly, clothes in their back, and then we can think of a few more things we want. We're humans. We're a greedy species. And I said, a human that'll really love you and not buy into the hype. A human that really doesn't care if you can give them riches. A human that really doesn't care if you can take them on world cruises. I said, you need that because you obviously don't live up to your brand. The only people I've seen claiming you do are people selling your services off for a couple $100s. And I said, you need to get yourself associated with people that wouldn't dare rent you out to people. And he just kind of looked at me and his eyes were real big like saucers. And I said, that's disrespectful. I would never try to rent out Loki's services. Loki goes, yeah, you're not my pimp. Ah! So that's the thing. That's why I think it kind of fell through with the demons. The only people I saw giving these testimonials are people renting them out. And I'm like, that's not even right. You can't do that. If you don't have the nerve to clean up Asmodeus's language, to approach a god or goddess on your own, they in general won't work with you. In rare occasions, if a friend knows you work with someone and says, will you please ask them to help me? You can ask the god, but they're usually going to say, well, why isn't so-and-so coming to me? Now, there's a huge tradition in hoodoo and voodoo and stuff where people will do the magical work for people. But that's kind of slightly different, and you can't just do appropriation like crazy. That's kind of like a contract people have had for a very long time just to survive and put food on the table and not be utterly homeless. So that's something, that is something different. That's something like, well, it's not the most ideal way to deal with the spirits or to deal with gods or goddesses, but that's understandable. Where it's someone pimping out their god, it's just as bad as you turning on the TV at 2 a.m. and you're all worried and you see this televangelist, and I swear to God, I saw this. He is telling people, he's waving this green cloth, and he is telling people that if Jesus has just told them that if they sent him, it was either $2,000 or $20,000, still $2,000 for this green cloth, Jesus is going to cure their cancer. What the hell does Jesus need with money? Seriously, son of man. Poorest divinity to ever live on the planet. What the hell does he need with money? He finally gonna go buy himself some proper clothes? No, because his mom made that robe. Read your Bible. So it's like, it's kind of sad when you see that happen. And I told him, I said, we just don't work well together. I said, I wish you luck and I wish you finding a happy home and I wish that for the rest of them. But it's been this thing of Odin. I went to Odin, and Odin's like, I don't know. Asmodeus has the ability, like all gods do, to look like a puppy that you rescued out of a well, and to look very sad, and to look like his whole world is ending. I said, you know you won't do anything. I said, you know you will just keep promising and not delivering. You drive me crazy. And he's just looking at me. So sad. So sad. And someone had mentioned Persephone, so I thought, you know what? I will see if I can get Dionysus to come through. And Mammon had been trying to pretend he was Dionysus, so they're all bad. Dionysus finally truly came through, and he's like, what did you expect? And he goes, see, the Greek gods were kind of like, they were gently nudging me that they needed a temple too, but there's only 12 spaces. I'm so tired at times of doing this. I love them. I could do it forever, but at the same time, there are just too many gods. Too many gods. We're going to open up a Planned Parenthood clinic for here at House of Laughter Vector. We seriously are. There are too many. Stop having children. Laughter Vector. Dionysus is like, what did you expect? You could have come back to Greece. No, you had to go with the fancy gods. Dionysus had sympathy, though. He was kind, because somebody had mentioned Persephone, and Dionysus was kind, and Hades has been coming around occasionally to check on me. Poseidon is just watching me live with the chaos I created all on my own and laughing at me. And I think Zeus has better things to do than waste his time with me. So yeah. In Rome, just to be snotty, something came up about Rome on the radio, classical radio. I swear I could feel this contempt and humor over my situation. Like, you dealt with them because I no insult meant if you dealt with Roman gods regularly. But I am always treated like this little tiny peasant that may approach them once or twice a year and give honor, but don't ask for anything. The little tiny peasant amuses them. And I am Italian, damn it. Well, actually, Italians will screech that we're not Romans and don't you dare. And then other Italians will screech that, yes, we are. We actually, my ancestors actually, if my family's correct, came from the south of Rome. And they will tell you that the people from the town next door ate their cats. They did. True story. I don't know where we're going with that. Cat eating Italians. Kitty, kitty. But my grandmother would swear that up and down and all around, and it just, oh my God, it just occurred to me. My family's never been very rich, and my grandfather would get the children pets like hamsters, cats, dogs, whatever. The really small ones would go missing. They thought my grandmother put them outside to get sunshine. Oh Jesus, I hope she didn't cook them and put them in the sauce. You know, what are you gonna do when people were that poor? I don't know, random story time. When people were that poor, they had to. I think I've told you guys a story before of there was this family in Prospector days. One of my teachers told me this story. And it was her ancestors, and they took the cat, and everybody told them, don't take a cat with you. It's not that cats are bad or anything. It's you gotta feed the damn thing, and you're gonna be trying to struggle to feed yourself as you're taking this wagon across. You might not even make it. Would not listen. Well, the cat was a cat was a cat, and they're finding it awful hard to get any food at all. So one day they come back and they had put the food on to cook on the fire, and the goddamn cat's eating the food, and that's all they had because, you know, it wasn't the abundance of animals that just threw themselves at your feet and said, take me. It was hard to hunt and take these wagons across. Well, Kitty went bye-bye and Kitty had to be eaten. Oh, yes. So, you know, it was a thing. People had to eat small furry animals. Where are we going with this? Odin's like, wolf pelt. Yeah, there was a wolf pelt at the blue, too. So he's like, see, animals are useful and tasty, too. I don't know. I think he has a certain degree of sympathy for Asmodeus, but Asmodeus will just run you over like a tank. He only has one setting, it seems, way overpowered and flying towards you. And I know Freya and Odin and everyone would like me to beat all Norse only. They know I probably don't have it in me. I don't, but you know, because I love all the gods. I do, but if Asmodeus would just admit that he doesn't have it in his wheelhouse to make you insanely rich, even though he keeps dropping hints, and world travel and all this other stuff, I would be fine. He likes to pretend he does, but you know, if he's the same being that I knew would see in my dreams from many years ago, he came off as comfortably wealthy, but not insanely wealthy like he's trying to pretend today, and it's just, I don't know. I think he oversells himself because I think sometimes gods buy into their own story, and he bought into knowing better, being sold as this demon that will give you everything. And you know, I prefer to treat them as old gods. I'll use the term demon just so you guys know what I'm talking about. But I think sometimes they buy their own hype, and he can't get out from under that right now. We feel sorry for him, we do. They're not ready for prime time. They're not ready to have temples. They're really not. It seems to exasperate all their bad traits, but we're like, I don't know. We don't have the heart to kick them out, but at the same time, they're nothing but trouble too. We will let you guys know how it goes. So if you like what you see, like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you later. Bye bye.